ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా, ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా, నేనెప్పుడు మీ వెంటనే జంటనే ఇంటనే ఉంటుంటాను.
Bhagavan is always with you, in you, around you, above you.
కనుక మీరందరూ కూడా ఐకమత్యంతో పనిచేయండి.
Work with a feeling of unity.
నా సీటు ఇక్కడ కాదు.
Bhagavan's seat is not here.
నా సీటు మీ యొక్క హృదయమే.
Bhagavan's chair is your heart.
కనుకనే మీరు ఎక్కడ ఉంటే అక్కడ కూడా స్వామి ఉంటున్నాడు.
Swami is there wherever you are.
ఏ కొరతలు మీకు జరగవు.
Nothing will happen to you.
ఏ విధమైనటువంటి అపజయాలు మీకు జరగవు.
You will never have failure.
కానీ పరిపూర్ణమైన విశ్వాసంతో మీరు పనులు ప్రారంభించండి.
But work with a total faith.
ఏ పని చేసినా కూడా ఇది భగవత్ కార్యంగా భావించండి.
Whatever you may do, good work, take it as God's work. God's work.
सत्यदेवा तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ईश्वराय महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्।
Let us sit in a comfortable posture with our spine erect. Let us relax our shoulders, our arms. Let the entire body relax. And in the quietness of your mind, hear the sound of your breathing. Breathe deeply As you breathe in, so. As you breathe out, hum. So. Hum. Now visualize a light in front of you. Bring this light to your forehead, in between the eyebrows. Let the light fill our head. Wherever there is light, there can be no darkness. We are filled with good thoughts. Our thoughts are filled with love. Now bring the light down into your heart. As it enters the lotus of your heart, imagine that the petals of the lotus open out one by one, bathing every thought, every feeling, every emotion in the light. Our heart becomes pure. Our heart is filled with love. Now bring the light to your hands. Both our hands are filled with light. We do good actions. We serve everyone. We perform our duty with love. Now bring the light down to your legs, to your feet. Both your feet are filled with light. We walk bravely with self-confidence towards the goal of our life. Now bring the light up through the body, all the way through the neck to your mouth. Our mouth and tongue are filled with light. We speak the truth. We speak with kindness. We speak with love. Now bring the light to your ears. Both our ears are filled with light. We listen to good things. We listen with love. Now bring the light to your eyes. Both your eyes are filled with light. We see good in everyone and in all things. Take the light up to your head. Let our head be filled with light. Let the light increase in intensity, becoming brighter and brighter. Allow this light to expand outwards until it fills the room. Continue to expand this light so our family, our friends, our kith and kin are covered in this light. Expand this light further until it covers the whole world, crossing oceans and nations, covering everyone in this light. All are part of this light. Let the world be filled with light, with love, with peace. Continue to expand the light out until the whole universe is filled with light. Everywhere there is light. We are in the light. The light is in us. We are the light. And now bring the light into your heart. Install this light in your heart. Wherever we go, whatever we do, this light is always in our heart, guiding, protecting, blessing. Now gently open your eyes. Let us take a moment to thank Swami for his beautiful presence.
पार्वती नंदन गजानना पार्वती नंदन गजानना पशुपति नंदन निरंजना पशुपति नंदन निरंजना पार्वती नंदन गजानना पाहि प्रभो मां पाहि प्रसन्ना पाहि प्रभो मां पाहि प्रसन्ना गिरिजानन्दन शुभानना गिरिजानन्दन शुभानना पार्वती नंदन गजानना पशुपति नंदन निरंजना पार्वती नंदन गजानना पाहि प्रभो मां पाहि प्रसन्ना गिरि जय साई गुरुदेवा साई गुरुदेवा
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 गुरु सेव बिना निर्वाण नहीं जय 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 साई गुरुदेवा
तुम्ही हो माता पिता तुम्ही हो 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 साई गुरुदेवा
सत्य स्वरूपा राह दिखाओ 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 साई गुरुदेवा
गुरु सेव बिना निर्वाण नहीं जय 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 साई गुरुदेवा
जय साई गुरुदेवा साई गुरुदेवा
जय साई गुरुदेवा साई गुरुदेवा
गुरु सेव बिना निर्वाण नहीं जय साई गुरुदेवा
गुरु सेव बिना निर्वाण नहीं जय साई गुरुदेवा
तुम्ही हो माता पिता तुम्ही हो साई गुरुदेवा
तुम्ही हो माता पिता तुम्ही हो साई गुरुदेवा
सत्य स्वरूपा राह दिखाओ साई गुरुदेवा
सत्य स्वरूपा राह दिखाओ साई गुरुदेवा
गुरु सेव बिना निर्वाण नहीं जय 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 साई गुरुदेवा जय
साई गुरुदेवा साई गुरुदेवा पुण्य नाम पवित्र नाम राम नाम साई राम
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 हरे कृष्ण हरे पवित्र नाम राम नाम साई राम करुण सिंधु सीताराम दीन बंधु राधेशा करुण सिंधु सीताराम दीन बंधु राधेशा हरे कृष्ण हरे राम मधुर नाम साई राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम मधुर नाम साई राम पुण्य नाम पवित्र नाम राम नाम साई राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम मधुर नाम साई राम पुण्य नाम पवित्र नाम राम नाम साई राम करुण सिंधु सीताराम दीन बंधु राधेशा हरे कृष्ण हरे राम मधुर नाम साई राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम मधुर नाम साई राम पुण्य नाम पवित्र नाम राम नाम साई राम
Saram, everyone. Happy morning to you all. For those who are celebrating Ramadan, Eid Mubarak.
Sairam, welcome to the 12th annual Region 7 Young Adults Retreat and our first virtual one. Before we go any further, I want to let everyone know that today's virtual retreat will be recorded.
My name is Kirtana Kumar and I go by KK. Along with me is Vineet Johnson. We are from the San Francisco Sci Center. Vineet and I are extremely humbled to be your MCs for the day, and we hope to make your virtual retreat a fun-filled learning and a bonding experience. I know we would have all loved to spend this weekend together in person, laughing and singing in the same room. Nevertheless, I'm grateful that I can spend this long weekend with all of you all, my Region 7 Sci-YA community. This is definitely a sign that our loving Swami is always taking care of his children.
I agree with you, KK. Hasn't our beloved Swami told us that multiplicity is a delusion and unity is the reality? So no matter how physically apart we all are, we are united by our faith. Swami also goes on to say that to comprehend the body, mind, and soul is to realize the fundamental truth. This year, which is also Swami's 95th birth anniversary, the theme for the Region 7 Young Adult Retreat is unity of body, mind, and soul. So KK, what are your first thoughts on this year's theme?
Well, I'm immediately transported back to listening to Swami's discourse in Parthi long time ago. He was talking about how the questioner and the answerer are one and the same. I realized that maybe the body, the mind, and soul are manifestations of one reality. Beyond the body, bend the body, mend the mind, and bend the body, mend the senses, and end the mind. That is the way to immortality. And as Swami says, Eko ham sarva bhutanam. I am the reality in all beings.
Thanks for sharing that, KK. I hope everyone attending today's program is able to imbibe Swami's message through this time. Let's do a quick recap of some of our past retreats as a group. Nice. So last year, some of us went to Chicago for the 2019 Zone 1 Young Adults Retreat Festival. In 2018, we had our first ever West Coast Young Adult Retreat. And yes, you're right, the last picture is from 2017. And we got together for our 10th annual Young Adult Retreat.
Oh boy, wasn't that a different time? It was back when staying within 6 feet of each other was actually socially acceptable.
True that, KK. Nevertheless, while mandates and guidelines around social distancing keep changing during this time of the coronavirus pandemic, we are so thrilled that we are able to connect virtually through Swami's grace during this retreat. KK, should we give our friends a rundown of the general Zoom keeping, Zoom keeping announcements?
Sure. I think for the next slide, we have a few announcements. Kindly keep yourself on mute, just as you've done so far. It helps to keep us on track. We also encourage you keep your videos on so that we can see all your beautiful faces and feel like we're in the retreat together. Also, just as a few of the organizers have done, choose a virtual background that speaks to this year's theme of the retreat. I'll repeat the theme: unity of body, mind, and soul. Additionally, use the Zoom chat feature to continuously share your thoughts and questions. We'll constantly be monitoring the chat for questions and answer them. We will also be using the breakout room feature throughout the retreat. For those who haven't used breakout rooms before, they are just a way for us to break into smaller groups and have private discussions. And in our cases, some sessions will be handled in breakout rooms. If you are sent into a breakout room and then suddenly magically leave by mistake, you can always rejoin the breakout room from an option below.
For the best retreat experience, switch between the gallery view and the speaker view. And finally, keep using the thumbs up or the clap reactions to encourage our session leads. Let's try that now. Find the reaction button on your Zoom and send me a thumbs up or a clap. All right.
Great. And as always, no size event goes without us making sure we follow zero waste practices. So if you were meeting in person, you would have all received a carpool sign-up form, a request to bring your own boxes, bottle from our zero waste team. Thanks to Swami, all of this concerning to zero waste has already been taken care of.
That's true, KK. Finally, share your experience on Instagram and tag us on @Region7SciYA and use these hashtags. Hashtag R7YA Retreat, hashtag Unity 2020, hashtag Unity of Body, Mind, and Soul. We have a sci-filled agenda for you today with a short break in between, and we will have segments catering to the body, mind, and soul.
Awesome. Can I get a thumbs up for those who are excited for this retreat? Yeah.
Nice.
I'm
That is
trying
awesome.
to find the thumbs up on my. I'm not showing up in the chat thread.
So if you are, Sitij, if you want to go to the slide before with the Zoom. Oh, you did get it, Karthik. Great. That worked.
It's not showing up in this chat screen in the chat.
It will show up in your video, just right there. So we actually can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because someone else got it in the chat screen, so that's why I was not sure.
Great. So let's get moving.
That is awesome. And as a disclaimer to everyone, I've already discussed this with the various coordinators. If there are any difficulties, especially technical ones from our end, I'm going to be the filler. I have my guitar right next to me, and so I will whip it out and sing a bhajan out of the blue. Hope y'all all don't mind.
Well, although I would love to hear you play the guitar and sing, I'm sure that through Swami's grace, everything will go as planned. Speaking of planned, we have a thought-provoking, immersive workshop ready for you titled Riches in the Rubble, Finding the Lessons in Our Past.
The workshop is led by Alicia Vanigasekara from the Fremont Center. A fun fact about Elle, as she's fondly called, she firmly believes that a pineapple's rightful place is on a pizza. Elle, on that note, you and I cannot be friends for sure. Anyway, over to you, Elle.
Good morning. Yes, Team Pineapple. I cannot be the only person who likes pineapple on pizza. Support me here. If you also like pineapple on pizza, hit me up and we'll go for pizza sometime without Vinith. So let's get into it. I'm really excited for this workshop. It's called Riches in the Rubble, Finding the Lessons in Our Past. So the whole idea of this workshop is going to be twofold. We're going to have some time for self-introspection, and then we're also going to have some time for discussion in small group settings. It's going to be really exciting. So For the first part, we're going to introspect a little bit and take a look at some of our most impactful life experiences and just reflect on them. Not necessarily to dwell in the past, but to make peace with it, to take what is of value from those experiences, and to move forward with the riches of wisdom that we've gained and leave the rubble behind. I think that so often, we fall into the trap of regret and resentment, and maybe sometimes even being at war with our own personal history. But this is an opportunity for us to step back and see how it has all been perfect, how our life experiences have been curated for us by a loving God and a kind universe to support us in our spiritual growth. And then for the second part of the workshop, we can take some of that wisdom and distill it and share it with others. I really believe, there are no coincidences in this universe. We all logged in today for a reason, and maybe there is a message in your life story that could be of tremendous value to somebody else. So I'm just going to go over the format of the workshop. So we're going to, previous slide, please. Yeah. So we're going to have, we're going to start off with 10 minutes of self-reflection. You're going to need a sheet of paper and a pen for that. So if you don't have one handy, please do go and grab one. And then we'll be having breakout discussions for 20 minutes. So you will be put into a group. So it will be like a nice, friendly, kind of comfortable small group setting for us to discuss what we found in our self-reflection. And then we'll come back as a bigger group and wrap up. So I'm going to go into the details of your self-reflection. So take your sheet of paper and draw 2 lines so that you have 3 even columns. And then in the first column, in the far left column, you're going to be taking inventory of your life experiences. So Swami says, life is a mosaic of pleasure and pain. Grief is an interval between 2 moments of joy. And we wanted to include that quote because when I did this exercise, I know you probably can't read my messy handwriting. But when I did this exercise and I listed a lot of my own life-changing, transformative experiences, I found that a lot of the ones that I listed as, the most impactful were painful just because I felt like those yielded the most spiritual growth. I also listed some joyful experiences as well, but I think it's important to note that the painful experiences gave the joyful experiences some context. So you can list whatever you feel has been most impactful for you. And then in the middle column, the second column, we're going to be looking at the lessons within those experiences. So Swami says, you're always your own best guru, your own best teacher. The answers are always inside you. Because, we really have to be the ones to mine the wisdom from our life experiences. Nobody else can do that for us. So you can just list anything that you can think of. It can be big, can be small, anything. We're just going to list whatever you feel you've gained from the life experiences that you listed in the first column. And then finally, for the last column, we're going to be thinking about how we can pass on some of that valuable wisdom to others. So Swami says, love one another and help others to rise to the higher levels. So, when you take a look at your life experiences that have shaped you, you may find that there is a central message that has been woven throughout your life. So how can you take that and uplift others with it? So we're going to leave a reference slide up for you, and there will be a timer for 10 minutes. We also have a nice soundtrack to aid you in your introspection. So enjoy. We'll see you back in 10 minutes. So welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that time to reflect on your life experiences. You may have found that, maybe there were some recurring themes in your life. Maybe there's something that the universe is trying to tell you. So we're going to split everyone off into small breakout rooms now. Sunil and I might be popping in intermittently. Please don't kick me out just because I like pineapple on pizza. I promise I won't force you to eat it. Just to guide the group discussions, we have a few optional questions that you may want to use. So looking at your experiences, is there something that you can share that could maybe spare someone else the pain that you experienced? Or on the flip side, is there something that you can share that could help someone else feel the joy that you experienced? And then something else you can think about is, can your life's message be summed up in a single phrase or word for people to take away? We also want to mention that these are safe spaces. So we're going to request that you please respect the confidentiality of the discussions, but we also hope that you feel comfortable enough to share your story and your wisdom. So we're going to have 20 minutes of breakout sessions now. Thank you.
Right, Sairam, opening up the breakout rooms right now. So you'll all be going into your breakout rooms for about 20 minutes, after which you'll get like a countdown timer, and then it'll bring you back to the main room. Giving your best is what I think is one of the key takeaways that I've had. Also, sorry to cut short, but I do have to close the breakout rooms and go back to the main room. Sairam.
Thanks, Madhu. See you all back there.
See you there.
Welcome back, everybody. Just gonna wait a few minutes for everyone to come back from their virtual rooms.
And I do think everybody's back. You can go ahead.
All right.
Okay. Welcome back. So I hope that's helpful for everybody. I wish I could have sat there and listened to all of your experiences. I was kind of hopping around to different breakout rooms, and it was really amazing and profound to listen to some of your stories. Can we go to the next slide? So I just wanted to share a little bit about my experience with this exercise. So I did this last week, and I've really been through a lot, and I've had some experiences that I didn't think I could come back from. But what I found through this exercise was that I really feel like God or the universe or life has been trying to tell me through my life that there is nothing that my spirit cannot recover from. My spirit can come back from anything, no matter how difficult. And I really wanted to share that with all of you today because, that's true for you as well. There is nothing that your spirit cannot recover from. It is indomitable and invincible and untouchable and unbreakable. You know, as the Gita teaches us, weapons cannot hurt it, fire cannot burn it. Your immortal spirit can not only get through anything, but it can come back from anything, no matter how difficult the experience. So, I mean, looking at my life, if I was going to choose one word to represent the message that has been embedded in my life story, I think it would be unbreakable. So we're gonna have a little word cloud action right now. So if you can think of your word, just drop it into the cloud and let's see what we can come up with.
Can you put the link in the chat? Is that possible?
Connection, compassion, expansion, surrender. These are good. Wow. Strength, resilience, forbearance, growth, selflessness, serenity, love. There's a lot of faith, gratitude, courage, empathy, resilience. Who put courage in the word cloud? In the word cloud. Can we hear from you?
I did. I put courage. I don't know who else did.
Did you want to share a little bit about your life message?
I've been through a lot in my life, and I know that sounds like kind of cliche. Everyone has, but I guess it's taught me to fight back always and never to give up. Like no matter what comes your way in life, no matter how hard it is, just to have faith in Swami and to, believe in yourself and believe in him, and then you can kind of face everything.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Did anybody else want to share?
I think Sundar has
Sure.
asked. I don't know. Sundar, if you want
Sundar?
to share.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not sure. I don't know if I put my hand up, but I mean, I don't mind sharing. I put the word strive. I feel like striving encompasses a lot of this, just to keep moving forward, just to keep going. I think the longer you keep going, the more a lot of these other attributes happen.
Awesome. Thank you. Can we hear from somebody who put expansion? Anybody for expansion? How about compassion? Does anyone else want to share about their life story a little bit? I think we have a couple minutes more.
Sure, I can share. I put connection. I don't know who else put connection, but I think it's sort of been the governing word in my journey. It's this connection with Swami, as I was sharing in the breakout room. It's like it's this Wi-Fi connection. You know, every time you get it, it changes you, it changes your life. You get so much inspiration, helps you through difficult times, and then sometimes you lose the connection, and then life happens, and then you sort of go back to that connection, and it just keeping that connection as long as possible, holding on to that connection as long as possible, I think has really played a huge role in my life. And I try to always go back to that whenever possible.
Awesome, thank you. Does anybody else want to share? That was a really beautiful word cloud, and I can see, how profoundly our life experiences have changed us and how much wisdom we've gained from going through them. There's so many beautiful words here: serenity, discipline, energy, belief, peace, perseverance, selflessness, gratitude, love, faith, compassion. So if we can go to the next slide. So I just wanted to leave this beautiful quote with you. Swami says, whatever happens is for your own good. And I think it's really important to remember this under the current circumstances that we're going through right now, that even though this experience is so difficult, we can still take the opportunity to transform our suffering and find the riches in the rubble. And I want to thank you all so much for joining me on this journey today. It's been so meaningful and beautiful and profound to experience this with you. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass it back to KK and Vineet.
Well, thank you, Elle. Can we all get a clap reaction for Elle? Thanks, Monica. Yeah.
All right. I'm sure each of you have learned something from the workshop. Why don't we all take a moment to share your takeaway on the chat? All right. Anisha was engaging and inspiring.
Well, Vineet, why don't I share my biggest takeaway as we're waiting for people to respond? Well, my biggest takeaway is that grief is an interval between two moments of joy, especially in this, current time where every day blends into each other. And, I just want to cherish every moment of joy I experience. And this is a way, and Swami sort of taught me the way to do that. So Vineet, what was your takeaway?
Well, thanks for sharing that, KK. Well, for me, it is that love is universal. We want to start the day with love, spend the day with love, fill the day with love, and also end the day with love. That is the way to God.
Yeah, I mean, I see some great takeaways coming in the group, the Zoom chat. Be strong when things are going wrong, relatable and connected, and so Swami's love. These are amazing. Thank you all for taking the time to share some of your takeaways. And of course, if you're following us on Instagram, there is a story posted to share your takeaway in case you want to do that.
All right. So before we move on to the next session, let's get a group picture of our first ever virtual retreat. Kshitij, would you please stop sharing the slides for just a minute? And KK, would you do the honors?
Yeah, so if you don't have your cameras turned on, maybe this is the time to do it. I want some big smiles. And remember, on after three, not on three, but after three, we're gonna say Swami. And so as soon as I get a few more, I know people are jumping in. I have everything ready. So,
Yeah, now is a good time to turn on your camera, guys, if you guys want to.
right. Okay. Okay. I have 1, 2, 3. Swami.
Swami.
So I'm gonna take one more for everybody a chance. So give me a second. So let's do 1, 2, 3. Swami.
Swami.
Thank you all.
This is the
Okay, that was
fastest picture we've ever taken at a YA retreat. It usually takes 30 minutes to get people together.
true that, Madhu. All right. So that was awesome. Next on the agenda, we will make you move, sweat, and get your heart rates up.
Just as Swami says, you know, just as each limb is an important part, as any other part in the body, so is also each individual in the society. All limbs have to work in unison for the effective functioning of the body. Unity is the most essential for man. To practice what Swami says, we have a body-based session planned for you. Based on your preference you opted during registration, you will be assigned to a breakout room for kickboxing, walking, or yoga. In case you didn't register with a choice, don't worry, you will just remain in the main room and Madhu will help you go into the breakout room of your choice. But in case you changed your mind after listening through the retreat or maybe through self-reflection in the workshop, don't worry again, just leave your breakout room you're assigned to and Madhu will reassign you as needed.
Our kickboxing session will be led by Nishma Samath and Sanjana Srivatsa from the CSJ Sai Center. A fun fact about Nishma is that she loves to try new things and explore nature. And Sanjana here has taught English to the Tibetan monks in Nepal. Sanjana, I asked you for a fun fact, not for a noble fact.
Well, for those who signed up for this session, you will need a water bottle, a towel, and all your beautiful smiles. So if you signed up, this is a good time to go grab all those things and get ready.
Yep. And our walking session is led by my dear friend, Sabrish Kapaganta. Subs, as he's called by some of our YAs, is from the Fremont Sai Center and is a certified walker who has been walking for more than 25 years. Wow. Sabrish, I honestly can't think of anyone who is more qualified to lead the session other than you.
For this session, you will need your phone, headphones, definitely a face mask, safety first. Also, please maintain 6 feet distance if you're outside, cover your face, and when you come back, remember to wash your hands thoroughly.
The yoga session will be led by Kritika Puntambekar from the CSJ Sai Center. A fun fact about Kritika is that apart from her day job, she spends a lot of time blogging about makeup, skincare, and fashion.
Oh, Kritika, you should send me the link to that blog. I would love to follow you and find out more. So for this session, you will need a water bottle, a yoga mat, and a towel.
Same here, Kritika. Would love to follow you as well. I'm sure all of you are going to feel elated and grounded when you come out of these sessions. KK will be at the yoga breakout, Kshitij will be at the walking breakout, and I will be at the kickboxing breakout. Feel free to message us on Zoom chat box if you have any questions at all. And after the breakout session, you will have a break and we will meet you back on the main room at around 11 a.m. And during the break, it's also a good time for us to catch up with folks which we haven't caught up in a while. Or if you want to just take a break and take a breather, you feel free to do this. So.
And I just want to give a slight teaser. Just after the break, we have a fun, exciting game ready for you. So be on time and don't miss any of that fun.
Yes. Madhu, if you want to take out your magic wand and cast a spell to move us all to our breakout rooms, let's do it. Enjoy, everyone. See you guys on the other side.
All right. I have assigned breakout rooms based on what you've expressed in the registration form. If you will get like a pop-up button that says join breakout room. So, and if you have any questions, just stay back in the main room. And if you want to be reassigned to a different room, let us know. All right. You have 30 minutes in your breakout rooms and we'll see you guys after that. Sai Ram and enjoy. Also, Pooja, Monica, Rohit, let me know which session you guys want to be part of, and I can put you in that breakout room. Pooja, do you want to unmute yourself and share?
Hi, so I don't know if I missed something. I just joined in the middle of a meeting.
No worries, Pooja. So we are going to our our body segment where we have 3 breakout sessions happening at the same time. One is yoga, one is walking, the other one is kickboxing. So kickboxing is basically, so if you want to pick one of these 3, let us know and I can move you to one of those.
I'll be mostly picking yoga.
Okay, cool.
I'll be picking walking.
Karthik, right?
Yeah, I mean, I started on the registration, but I haven't gotten a link to connect.
Okay, Karthik, you are, so Ethan, I see that you wanted to do yoga. I assigned you. Do you want to do something else?
Yeah, could you change me to walking, please?
Sure, okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
So what is the walking basically? What are we going to do?
Surprise, you should go check it out.
Yeah.
It's
going outside.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Sabrish has planned an awesome segment for you all.
Okay, I'll go to walking.
Okay, hold on. Karthik, what did you express earlier? I'm just looking up, okay? Give me 1 second. Okay, Karthik, I don't see your name. What have you named yourself? Karthik, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Divya, you're here for a reason. You have your breakout room assigned. Kickboxing.
Yes, I have. Oh, this is the kickboxing room?
No, you would have got a join breakout room button.
No, I didn't.
Hey, Divya.
Hey, Saina.
So which side center from Tuesday or?
Krishana.
Hey, Madhu, is it possible to kind of do a reassign because I don't see the pop-up for some reason.
Can you guys do me a favor, maybe drop out and join back in again because I don't see that option because I've already assigned.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure.
Ethan, you should have got the walk link.
Oh, I see it. Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem. Okay, Rasika. And do you want to be assigned to a different room?
I will go with yoga.
Okay.
The same, yeah.
Okay, you are assigned already.
Oh.
Okay, Ganapati, you want to go to the walk segment? Divya, I'm putting you to kickboxing, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Madhu. I see the pop-up.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, I didn't get the walking link.
Karthik, can you do the same? Can you log off and click on the Zoom link and join back in again?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, Vineet, are you helping out with kickboxing?
Kickboxing, yes.
Okay, awesome. Monica, where do you want to go?
I'll go to the yoga one.
Okay. All right. Sai, you should have got a link.
No.
Okay.
Even I didn't get a link.
Sorry, Madhu.
Oh, Sai, I got it. Okay, where do you want to go? Yoga?
Kickboxing.
Kickboxing. Yeah, I thought so. All right. Rasika, can you try logging off, logging in again? I will assign.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Niranjan? Bro, walking?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be
Madhu,
walking.
Madhu, I'm going to log back in as well because I didn't think I had got a message.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, bye.
I just back in.
Okay. Oh, you got back in. Yes, I see you. So, Karthik, you want what? Yoga?
Walking.
Walking. Okay. All right. Shana? Yoga? Okay. All right. Rasika? Yoga as well, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Ganapati? Can you hear me? Or not sure what happened. Okay, he's gone now or not. Okay, folks, you all should be.
Hey, Saira Madhu, it's Lakshmi here. Can
Saira
you
Lakshmi.
to the yoga rule?
Okay, so can you rename yourself? Because there are 2 Lakshmi iPhones and I didn't really know.
Okay, that's why I got assigned to the walking.
Oh, okay. I moved you to yoga now. Should be okay.
Thank you.
See if that works.
I have to just press on join breakout room.
Yes.
Hey Madhu.
Hey Nayan.
Hey, it kicked me out. Can you put me again in the walking thing?
Yes.
Please.
Done. Karthik, can you see, click on the join breakout room? Vineet, Niranjan, are you guys still here?
So this is the front kick. And remember, you can also use your hand to help with the motion. When you bend back during the kicks, it also gives you more force. Same with the back leg. But when you kick with your back leg, make sure you come right back up to position. We don't want to get into our opponent's space. Okay, let's begin with 5 kicks on each side, counting up to 20. Let's try to breathe out when we kick each time. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, go back to breathing deep. In and out. 2 more. In and out. Remember to breathe during those kicks as well. Let's assume in position 1 more time. And 5 rounds on each side. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3.
Inhale. Forward and squat down as low as you can. Then come up. Let's do 6 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Moving on to a curtsy lunge, step out to the side, bring one leg behind the other, and bend down. You can lift one arm up to help with balance. Now let's do the other side. Step out, bring the other leg behind, and bend down. 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we will combine them. From one curtsy lunge, then squat. Curtsy lunge, and squat. Curtsy lunge, squat. Curtsy lunge, squat. Curtsy lunge, squat.
Inhale and come up halfway. If you bring your hands to your calves, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, placing your palms on the ground, you step your right leg back. And drop that knee if that's easier for you. Or you can just keep it lifted and we're going to raise our arms up all the way. Inhaling. And bring your palms back to the ground. Lift.
Machines get overheated when you work them too much?
Let me play the audio here.
There is a limit for the type of work that we can undertake and down there the fun monkey. This is what to such an extent the health is not issue of the damage in that. There is need for rest of this body also. Mission should have been for the person Gani, input mission Gani. You practice Sunday, holidays you can game garden. Whether it is a bus or a car or even in a factory, వారానికి ఒకసారి ఆ జడమైనటువంటి ఇనప ముద్దలైన మిషన్ కూడా రెస్ట్ ఇస్తున్నారు. ఈ జడమైనటువంటి దేహానికి రెస్ట్ అవసరం లేదా? When even a lifeless machine has to be given a little rest once a week, should the physical body, human body, which is full of life, or human system rest ఇవ్వాలి. Therefore, it has to be given some rest. Yes, that sounds good. I think we all would love some rest. Rest అంటే మంచి జెండా పెట్టి వేసుకొని పిల్లలు వేసుకొని వాటర్ తీసుకొని
Welcome back, guys. Hi, Ram.
Hello, Saram.
I'm Karthik.
How are your sessions, people?
Sessions were good.
What, Karthik, I saw you were pacing around the room. Did you enjoy the narration?
Yes.
Nice.
So I mean, so wasn't this walking basically we have to walk somewhere?
So the idea was for you to just be able to get out, walk, or walk inside the house, wherever, just to get some sort of physical exercise in.
I mean, I missed part of it because I got disconnected.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Sorry.
KK and Vineet, it looks like we have everyone back here in the main room.
Yeah. As we are all coming back, I think we are going to take a 10-minute break and a catch-up time. I hope you all enjoyed and feel sort of rejuvenated from the breakouts. So keep the chat flowing, maybe unmute yourself, talk, or if you want to take, take a small break, this is a really good time to do that. And we'll catch you back at 11:09. Let's say that.
11:09, huh? I
Thanks,
see what
KK.
you're doing there. Oh boy, so many flustered faces. Either workouts were really intense or you guys are not having a good time at all. All right.
What's special about 11:09?
Well, it's actually 11:10, but she thought she'd be smart and she'd say 11:09 and everybody will come a couple minutes in.
So essentially there is a trick to starting your meetings. Just like bonus trick, you can always set it at like something 14 or 28, like 11:28 or something like that. It actually helps people to remember because people are like, oh, that's weird, and so they'll remember the time. That's actually why.
Or is it like setting your price to $14.99 only kind of thing?
I think it's a similar psychology.
Preeti, what did you do in terms of the workout?
Did you say my name, Kshitij?
Yes, I was asking whether you were in the kickboxing or the yoga session.
I did the yoga. I think my body just resurrected. Yeah, but Kritika did great. But yeah.
I haven't heard from anybody from the kickboxing session. I think people are like pretty much.
We are still recovering.
I hope everyone is safe from the
Hey,
kickboxing.
Niranjan, you were not in kickboxing. What are you recovering from?
No, I'm just saying that I'm hoping and prayers that everyone is safe in that.
Ishma and Sanjana did an amazing job. We are very, very sweaty.
Awesome.
I hear a lot of good things about the walking session as well.
The walking segment was so beautiful.
Yes, Sabrish, that was magical. I think perhaps I'll just share the audio with everybody on the WhatsApp group, Sabrish, if that's okay. And then I would just like to continue walking to this on other days as well.
Kshitij, maybe we can upload it to a link later and then share it after the retreat is done. Would that be okay?
Sure. I'll share the audio as well as a transcript. I have a transcript of the entire thing, so I can share both.
Awesome. Sounds great, Sabrish.
It was really great. It just gave another perspective as to how we can connect to Swami, and that conversation really helped. And great job, Sabrish.
I love the Jyoti meditation. So could someone share the audio for that?
Sure.
After the retreat?
Yes, for sure.
What feels like a really good idea from an organizer standpoint would be that we'll put all these links in our feedback form. So to get to those, you'll at least have to open the form. Priya, are you painting?
Great idea.
Yeah, this is my one day off, so I am taking advantage of having the day off.
Well, I should say something like I shouldn't put you on the spot, but let's put you on the spot. Can we peek at what you're painting?
Here, I made this. Can you see this?
Wow.
But so it's all on YouTube. YouTube has all these great tutorials that are free. So that's kind of been nice. Yeah.
It's really pretty, Priya.
Have other people resurrected old hobbies because we're all locked in?
I have not. I don't know about others.
I watch other people paint.
Just like how Srini was watching or listening to the walk segment and sitting in the chair.
Yeah, old hobbies, Netflix, unfortunately.
Nikhil, good seeing you after so long, man. How's Florida?
Nice seeing you, dude. It's going good. Florida's wonderful. There was just a storm that passed for the last hour, so I couldn't make it to the walking session, but sun's coming back out.
Sounds wonderful. I would call it, I guess.
Good excuse.
Guys, we have Ketan Bhaiya, who's our National YA advisor. He's here with us today. Sorry, I'm Ketan Bhaiya. You're muted.
Can I just unmute him? Which I find to be a little creepy, but
Sorry about that. I just switched to another room because it's like long weekend. Kids are home. They're watching something on TV, so I figured I'd come into the office instead. But this is great. I was on for the workshop, which I really enjoyed. I wish we had more time to hear more from people's experiences and that kind of thing. But this is great that you guys are doing this. And of all the different ways everyone could be spending their Memorial Day, this is everyone's making the choice to be here, and it's nice to see everyone.
We're glad you could be here with us today. Thank you for spending your time with us.
Sure. I skipped the walk though because it's raining here, so I figured I'll just this is a good time to grab a bite to eat, and then I came back.
And I mean, I'm too curious now not to ask, but what was it that you ate?
Oh, we had just veggie burgers and all here at home. So.
Yo, okay.
So guys, we'll resume in about 4 minutes. So if you all have got your DIY ingredients at some point in time, I hope you all have purchased what's needed. If not, Monica will still walk you guys through what's going to happen, and we hope you can do it at a later point. But yeah, if you have the ingredients with you, just have them ready, and then we'll get to it in a bit. After the surprise element that the MCs have planned for us.
Is there a surprise element?
Yes, there is. I feel like I'm in a skit.
Okay, no more talking about the surprise element.
So there is one then. Hari, if you're talking to us, you're muted. No, okay, sorry. For a second, I was like, hey, Hari's talking to me, but not to be, I guess.
I was just saying that I can't see your face and Srini's face because it's really dark. Ah, there you go. Srini just looks like a shadow, like those.
Hari, look out the window.
Shitbitch, new hairstyle?
Sure, man, if that's what we want to call it. Yes, that's what it is.
Lakshman seems to be in the form of divine energy floating around.
When I was in the kickboxing session, I just saw a leg appear magically out of nowhere from Lakshman's video.
That was Anish in the yoga session, by the way. Suddenly a hand would come up or a head would come up.
Anyway, given that we're 1 minute away from the surprise segment, I'll quickly grab some water and be back.
Also,
So
if
the
you all
do yourself thing, like, do we need to be near us since for our stove, since it's going to be involving the baking and making your soap?
What was your question, Karthik? Say that again.
For the DIY, do we need to be near a stove since it's going to involve baking or making the soap?
Yes. Have you got all your ingredients?
Yes.
Awesome,
So for the
Karthik.
soap, I just need that gum and then the water in the bowl to mix.
So wait for it. Wait for the instructions. Monica will lead us through that segment in a bit. But before that, we have another surprise segment. So hold on.
Yeah, I think for the most part, you can do everything on a table. Monica, correct me, but only for like the parts that you go to the stove, you go to like for the baking, right, in the end.
Hey, for the baking stuff, I'm planning on taking my computer to the kitchen. So
Awesome.
Yeah, that works as well.
Good idea.
Just to be sure that you are not baking a computer, right?
I'll try not to.
Okay.
Saram, also, you don't have to be near a stove because we don't really need a stove. You can, mix it in any place that you would like. I'm not working from a kitchen, but you will just need to go to the oven to put the bread in after we're done. So whatever place comfortable for you, you can choose.
Okay, we are coming close to time. Let's get started. I know, I just want to quick remind people, keep yourself on mute. I know this is great to have everybody on this thing, except maybe a few minutes for after this, we might want people to unmute if you feel comfortable. Another reminder, turn on your videos if you feel comfortable. I know people have other people running around in their house or things, so it's up to you. We have shared some of the backgrounds we're using on the WhatsApp group, so you are welcome to take it and use that as a virtual background so you can hide whatever is happening behind. It's a great way to video chat without showing your world.
Okay, thanks, KK. All right, welcome back, everyone. Hope all of you are feeling rejuvenated after bending your body and elevating your souls. Thank you to all the breakout leads for sharing your knowledge and pro tips with us. Now, for the next segment, KK and I are really excited to present to all of you. Drum roll. Okay, I'm just going to tap the table because I don't have any drum. Bhajan, Emojan.
Well, Bhajans are always a great way to connect with Swami, don't you all agree? So why not use emojis as a way to recollect some of our favorite bhajans?
Open up your chat boxes, or if you want to say it out loud, feel free to unmute yourself and get ready. Bhajan Emojan will come up on the screen. Identify the name of the bhajan or a single word in the bhajan and stop typing or saying your guesses. Remember, we are all working as a team, so even a part of the answer is going to help all of us.
Okay.
KK, do you want to lead us with an example?
Definitely. I think the first one I'm going to walk you through, I am going to warn you all, there might be very many facepalm situations or this thing. I just want to clarify, if you're annoyed or frustrated by any of this, please don't blame anybody. Just know that these are all Swami's bhajans, right? So let's start with the example one. So I'm going to walk through this, right? For every emoji bhajan, we have the emojis up. And we have the language as a clue to kind of motivate you to think about it. I see people already guessing it on the chat.
Wow.
That is right. It is Garuda Vahana Na Rayana, like a na, like no, Ray, and na. I'm just gonna walk you through that one. It's easy. Aha, yes. So I love the responses. This is basically the first one. We'll go through a few really quickly. Vinny, go ahead, take the next one, the first real button.
All right. Let's see how you guys do on the next one. Any guesses? Ooh.
Vineet, can I guess? Or
sure. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice. All right. I think a couple of us have got that one. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Okay, so this one, Be a little more creative. You know, there are easy ones that starts to get a little tricky, but Sai Mata Pita. I hear the Mata Pita. Ooh, Sabrish is killing it.
Okay,
Seriously killing.
Sabrish.
Sabrish.
It's like, did you actually go through the slide deck by any chance, Sabrish?
That was my next question to him.
Sabrish is disqualified. Okay, move on.
Sabrish is a pro.
Okay, that is Mata Pita for those who haven't caught it. But Mata Pita, Guru, Bandhu, Saka, and Hari. So we're hurrying. We'll go to the next one.
Nice. All right. Oh, this is an easy one.
Dance
I
Shiva
see
in our hearts.
Yeah.
Yes. So this one is Dance Shiva, Dance in Our Hearts.
Yeah. I see a lot of people guessing that on the chat.
Yeah.
Great job. This is a
Good job,
fun
folks.
one. Yeah. All right, we'll go to the next one. This is one of my favorite ones. I just have to say, also my favorite bhajan. Probably the first bhajan I learned.
See who gets this one. I'm really excited to see who finds it out.
Bolo bolo sab mil bolo. Om Namah Shivaya.
Yeah, who was
Yes.
Pretty much okay.
That was
That's Supriya. She's bombing in on this because she was like, "This sounds fun."
Nice, Priyanka.
KK, you wanna walk them through this?
I will definitely walk people through this. So that's bolo, bolo, sub as in subtract. And if you multiply 300s, that should be a million. So mil, and then bolo om namah shivaya. So that's one.
That's up.
I know, face palm moments. I totally agree.
All right. Over to the next one.
Love
This should
is
be
my
simple as
song.
well.
That's
Nice one, Rasika.
Rasika, good job. That was very quick. If someone wants to say the whole thing. Ooh, I see love
Oh,
is
there
my
you go.
form,
Yeah.
truth is my
Sneha.
breath in the
Yeah,
chat.
Sneha has told us the whole thing. Wow.
The last
Wow.
piece.
We are really overwhelmed right now looking at how fast the responses are coming in. But anyway, this one, to break it down for you guys, is love is my form, truth is my breath, and bliss is my food.
There's bliss is my pasta, smile is my noodle.
I know we're starting to feel hungry a little bit, but don't worry.
Very
This baking
timely.
session's coming. Oh. This one's in Hindi bhajan. Ganapati has posted in the chat if anybody wants to keep thinking it before they look at the chat. Oh, Chandra Vadana. I see. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and it is Chandra Vadana Kamala Nayana. And so I don't think this needs a lot of walkthrough, but there isn't, for those who are wondering, there isn't a, what is Kamala again?
Lotus.
Lotus. There's no lotus emoji, so we had to go with the tulip one.
But then, excuse me, but then the Vadana means it's a body, right? It's not face.
Potentially.
Sorry to spoil the game.
Actually, Vadan is for face and body. Face and mouth.
Vadan is actually face.
I thought Badan was body, Vadan was face.
Yeah.
No?
True, I actually agree. Hey, I was just thinking out real quick. Does anybody want to sing maybe a line or two from this bhajan while we're at it?
This is the part where I put myself on mute.
If not, we have a favorite. Kshitij will sing. All right.
Yeah. Moving on.
All right, folks.
Okay,
Let's see if you can guess this one.
This is a difficult one. At least it was for me.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
It's Sai Bhajan Abhina. It's Sukha Shanti.
All these guys, I have seen the slide deck. That's all I can say.
No.
Is that the Craigslist app? Can I explain it real quick? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, Vinit can walk through this.
Yeah. So no, I think give it maybe a few more seconds. I don't think everybody's got it. We have Monica answered this one, but this is a tough one. So I would probably give it 10 more seconds.
Vineet, you already said Monica answered it, so people might have looked up.
All right, no worries. So if they didn't look at the chat, all right. So this is Sai Bhajana Bina Sukha Shanti Nahi. So Sai Bhajana Bina Sukha Shanti Nahi.
The Sai is the Greek alphabet. Sai.
Yeah, it's the the unit Sai.
Smart.
PSI.
Okay, so the next one, just make you think for a bit. Maybe the clue is in the last word, I will say.
I nominate Manisha to sing this, the first line.
I don't know the bhajan. I would have to say.
But that's your clue.
Love. I don't know.
This is a slightly hard one. Not I see Ganapati.
Oh yeah, okay.
Wow, Ganapati is turning out to be an MVP.
Yes. Manisha, you have to sing a line.
No, thank you. Moving on.
Ganapati guessed it. You'll have to sing it.
Yeah.
Oh, Madhu, I should have guessed that.
So for those still wondering, it's God of love. Fill my heart with your treasure. So the off here is like on off. We had to really think through that one a little bit. But if you're wondering why it's a not sign, yeah. Next one, Sudhej. Okay.
All right. This is a nice one as well. I like this one.
Me too.
Shankara Sadashiva Chandrasekhara.
Whoever said that, I mean, yeah, we didn't have to whisper it, but yeah, that's
Whoever said
spot
it
on.
is really smart because they got it so fast, but they're not very good at whispering.
It's one of those stage whispers where it's like our kids can hear when we whisper that quietly. It's like they can't hear when we say something directly to them, but if we're whispering to each other, they can hear it from another room.
So if you're wondering, this is like walkthrough. Sankara, Sada Shiva.
Sad Shiva, Shiva. And that is Chandra Sheikh as in Sheikh. Ra.
That is not a shake, Vineet.
Okay, that is the closest we got to a Sheikh.
It is Shikara. That also works.
Which also works.
Chandra Shikara.
I'll have some things to say in the feedback.
Let's not dwell too much on that.
Any also feedback.
Okay. I'm going to give a clue if no one gets it in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Ooh. I see somebody getting
Kickboxing.
Okay, so Guru Padam is coming in the chat.
Looks like
Manasa,
Ketan.
Is it Manasa?
Ketan.
Okay, I don't think it's Ketan Bhaiya, by the way. Yeah. Yes. For being honest, Bhaiya. Okay.
Yeah, so this is actually, I personally love Swami singing this bhajan. Every time I hear Swami sing this bhajan, I sort of tear up. But Manasa, for those who are still looking at it, Manasa, SA is South Africa flag. So SA, Bajare, Guru Charanam.
Wow. Nice.
All right, Sitij, for the next one. Oh, nice.
Amma Rama is coming in the chat. I see some.
Can you? I see parts of the bhajan coming up. Yes, there you go. Well done, Janani. And Sunil. And Srini. Oh, okay. But a lot of you guys have got it. Okay. Let me break it down to you guys. Okay. This is Atma Rama Ananda Ramana. Ramana.
Oh, I think the next one should be the last one. I know we'd want more, but here's the biggest clue. This is the last one. Maybe not a budget.
I don't think everybody heard KK's clue.
No, I see clue. I see some guesses coming up.
Yes.
I see some.
Sanjana, Srini.
Sudha's got it.
So that
There
got
you
the
go.
thing. So I'll walk it through. This is the
Karthik has also got it.
final one.
Those
So
Anubhav.
yeah. So it's sat o ma.
Also,
Mother.
technically, it's not a budget. It's more of a closing prayer.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a clue, maybe not a bhajan. Hence why I said like very softly. But sat gamaya. Well, this is fun. Thank you so much for playing it. I think the next slide has the actual answer of that.
If y'all don't mind sharing the slide deck, I would love to use it with my group 4 class.
Of course.
Certainly. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. Hope all of you enjoyed it and maybe experienced some facepalm moments in between as well. I feel grateful that we all share moments of joy, excitement, and bliss together.
Let's get a quick clap if you liked it, or a thumbs up if you liked it. You know, going into the gratitude moments, the moments of gratitude we spend, the more we feel like God enters our lives. On this occasion of Memorial Day, we would like to extend our gratitude and honor to those who have served us in the US military.
And as Swami says, gratitude to God is prayer. Ask yourself, what are you grateful for right now? Share that in the chat. And while you all do that, let us hear what some of our Region 7 young adults are grateful for.
Sairam, my name is Aniti from Central San Jose. I think Swami would describe me as curious, energetic, and insightful.
Sairam, this is Lakshmi Ramanathan from the Central San Jose Center. Swami would describe me as a very impatient, impulsive, and grateful friend.
Sairam, I'm Kshitij and I go to CSJ. Swami would probably call me an occasionally hardworking pakora who does not work out.
Everyone, my name is Lakshman from the Fremont Center, and Swami would describe me as a good boy. Terms and conditions apply.
Salam everyone, my name is Vinit Johnson and I'm from the San Francisco Center. Swami would describe me as an empathetic and a service-oriented devotee.
Sairam, I'm KK from the San Francisco Sai Center. Swami would describe me as loving, blissful, and extremely energetic. 3 things that I am grateful for. My parents for bringing me up the Sai way, the Sai community, and Swami himself.
What I'm grateful for, I am grateful for being a part of this marvelous organization, for getting a chance to know Swami, and for being in the company of all the wonderful people in the organization. I'm grateful for my amazing family, and I'm also grateful for the camping chair and the wind chime in my patio.
I am thankful for my family, Sai, Appa, Merlin, Lamond, and thankful for the work I do, current OBGYN.
The 3 things that I'm grateful for are Swami in me, Swami in others, and the one Swami.
I am thankful for a loving and supportive family, a job that I'm excited to wake up to every day, and of course, our dearest Swami, who is responsible for it all.
Right now I'm thankful for my family, for a peace of mind, and for a good health.
3 things I'm grateful for are Swami and the organization, the bright sunny California weather, and my friends and family.
I'm very thankful for a job that gets me excited every day, my loved ones, and the Sai community.
3 things I'm grateful for are Swami in my life, my loving parents and family, and wonderful friends.
I am thankful for being a part of the Sai family, of course, for my family, and for having a roof over my head.
3 things I'm thankful for is Swami, Swami, and Swami. Sorry, did you feel I didn't include you? But with Swami comes all of you, so all of you are included.
Message to essential workers. Well, I'm one too, and we actually had a COVID positive delivery last night. So keep your spirits up, and hopefully we get through this fast.
A message to all the essential workers. You are the true heroes. Thank you for risking your lives every single day for us.
Thank you all for all of the essential workers, for all that you do for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for putting your lives on the line for ours. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
I just want to thank the essential workers for being there for us. My praise to you all.
I'm extremely grateful to the essential workers for all that they do. Their work and sacrifice lets being bored out of all possible issues be my main privileged complaint during these times.
The essential workers, you're all in our prayers. We pray for your health and safety.
Thank you so much to everyone who's helping us fight this COVID crisis.
I'm really grateful for all of the grocery staff, all of the frontline health workers. Thank you.
My message to all the essential workers are thank you so much for everything you do.
To every essential worker out there risking your lives to save ours every day, thank you. We wouldn't be able to get through this without you.
Thank you to all of the essential workers for all of your hard work. Please don't forget to take care of yourselves.
If you are working in the front lines, I just wanted to say thank you. The work that you are doing is incredible, it is brave, and it is so selfless, protecting each and every one of us. My sister is in the front line, so I know how scary it can be, but I'm sending you lots and lots of love, always.
My message to the essential workers is that thank you so much for what you're doing.
We see you and we're so thankful for you, and we hope that you stay safe.
To all the essential workers out there, thank you so much for protecting the well-being of our community.
My message to the essential workers would be, thank you so much for all that you're doing. I hope you all get to pamper yourselves and spend time with your friends and family once all of this is over.
The thing which I'm most grateful for today is for the good health of myself and my loved ones. And my message to all the essential workers out there is that we are so fortunate that we are protected by your service, and I pray every day that the Lord may give you strength.
My message to the essential workers. Thank you so much for putting everybody else's needs ahead of your own. Thank you for pulling those long hours, long shifts. Thank you for all your hard work, your dedication, for being there on the front lines every single day. Thank you for being our rock stars. You guys are our everyday heroes.
To all the essential workers on this Memorial Day, along with all the war heroes, we salute you all for fighting that invisible enemy on the front lines. So thank you.
My message to the essential workers is thank you for inspiring us and teaching us the true meaning of selfless service.
I would like to thank essential workers for risking their lives every day to keep us safe. I send love to them and their families, and I hope God will protect them as they continue to selflessly make the world a better place.
Okay. Thank you for all those who shared what they're grateful for in the chat, and for those who sent in their videos. Listening and reading these gratitude notes makes my heart warm and feel thankful we have such an engaging community in this region. You should also know that we will be sharing all your thank you messages to the essential workers with the National YA social media team.
Well, Vineet, I see that you're touching your face. Did you remember to wash your hands for 20 seconds?
Of course I did. I also wish I was able to make my own soap, given the number of times I've been washing my hands.
Well, your wishes are coming true. We next have Monica Baskara from the Sacramento Sai Center, who's going to be leading us through a DIY soap making workshop.
Monica is also going to be guiding us to make a post-retreat snack at home. a delicious vegan banana bread. Apart from her baking and soap making skills, she is also learning how to play the ukulele. So for all those ukulele experts out there, please share your wisdom with Monica. Over to you, Monica.
Salam everyone. My name is Monica, and today we're going to be making some soap and some banana bread. At this time, I would like to give everybody about 5 minutes to get everything together before we get started with the soap. So if we can all, get all the ingredients that we need. So for the soap, you will need 1 cup of distilled water, 1/4 cup of liquid castile soap, 1 tablespoon oil of your choice, half a teaspoon of xanthan gum or guar gum, whichever you could get, and half a cup of hot water. So I guess you could also use this time to heat up some water if you don't have some hot water ready, and then any essential oil if you would like to use. So if we could all take about 5 minutes, if that's good, and then when you come back, if you can give me a thumbs up, I'll know that you're ready.
Also, it says, what does castile soap mean, since I didn't get that?
So this is what it looks like. It's okay. So it's like a plant-based soap that's a lot more eco-friendly than the soap that we use outside. So unfortunately, that is one of the essential ingredients in this, but you could make the rest of it and then just add the castile soap at the end, because this is what is going to make the soap froth like we would like soap to froth. But yeah.
Or can I use regular soap if I don't have castile soap?
Well, I guess for now you could, but eventually, if you're able to get it, it would be nice, because the whole point of this is we're trying to make this more eco-friendly for the environment. So one way to do that is to get rid of all the chemicals that are typically put in the soap. So for today, just to learn the process, you could definitely use soap, but then later on, if you're able to get your hands on this, it would be really nice. So I was able to find it on Amazon. I was able to find it at a lot of regular stores like Safeway and Rayleigh's. I checked it out yesterday. So if you're able to get it, that would be great. And they also come in different versions in terms of like being scented. So if you want to avoid using essential oils and you want to just use that, that's also great. So Madhu just sent the document that has all the ingredients if you want to order everything for a future time. Can I get a thumbs up if you're all ready to go?
I think, Monica, you can go ahead and get started, and then I think we'll all catch up with you.
Okay, sounds good. So let me explain something really quick before I get started, I guess. So I'm going to have 2 cameras on.
Okay, I think I'll just
One
do
of
that.
them
Take water up there.
Okay, so I'm going to have 2 cameras on. One will be on my face, and the other one will be a live demonstration of what I'm doing. So whichever works for you, you can pin. And so just a little introduction about why we're even making this soap. So like I mentioned, regular soap, if you go and look at the ingredients, it's full of chemicals that are not good for your skin, that are not good for the environment when you put them out, that are not good for the plants, when they get the stud. So the goal is to make something that has minimal ingredients, and what ingredients you're putting in. So it's a lot safer for you as well. And then because the soap that we use, it's all plant-based. So if you see the ingredients, it's mostly, from coconut oil and then palm oil and olive oil. So it's, it's plant-based as well. So this is a way to make vegan soap as well, if you're looking in that direction. And we also do encourage it because it is a lot more eco-friendly. And in terms of the ultimate goal of this, you can definitely use this for yourself, use it for your family or even your neighbors, because, we are running out of soap just because of how the situation is. But you could also bottle them up and donate it to the homeless people that you see outside, or you could get in touch with any homeless shelters around your area and ask them if they accept homemade soap, and then you can give it to them as well. So I know a lot of them are looking for supplies to help, their clients. So this would be a great way to help out, and you can help yourself too in that. So the first thing we're going to do is take some distilled water. So 1 cup of distilled water. I already pre-measured it, so I'm just going to add it to my bowl. So if you cannot find distilled water, an easy substitute is to use hot water that you cool down, because one of the biggest reasons why it's distilled water is because we want it to be safe. We want it to be microbe free, because we're trying to use this as soap. So if you're unable to get distilled water, it would be really easy to just heat up some water and then cool it down. The next thing we're going to add to this is oil, any kind of oil, 1 tablespoon. It's just carrier oil. I've used olive oil just because it's nourishing for the skin and it's moisturizing. So I'm going to add my oil in, and then I'm just going to mix a little using a whisk, just because I wanted to. So I see that it's making an emulsion. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take my xanthan gum. So I have half a teaspoon of that in here, and I'm going to add half a cup of hot water. So just 1 second. So
could you show the instructions, since I'm not don't have it fully?
Karthik, we've sent the instructions in the chat box, so you should see a Google Doc link in the Zoom chat box. So
Okay, I see it now. I got it.
Okay.
Okay, so does everybody have their xanthan gum mixture? So I'm just going to mix it. So the point of this is just to make a kind of a gel, because we don't want the soap to just be all water. So I'm just mixing it up really well. So keep stirring it until all the lumps dissolve. I'm going to use my whisk just to make it easier. So you can already see that the mixture is starting to thicken.
Sorry, Monica, can you center the mixing bowl?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So if you can see the consistency, it's already way thicker. I can't hold the bowl because it's so hot, but okay, if you can see, it's like super thick. So I'm gonna add that to my bowl as well. So far into my bowl, I've put in water, oil, and the guar gum paste that we just made with half a teaspoon of xanthan gum and hot water. Is everybody caught up till here? Okay, great. So I'm going to mix this really well. Make sure you have, you have to make sure it's evenly dispersed at this point, because the next thing we're going to do is add the soap. And once you add the soap, it's going to start to froth a lot, and then it's going to be harder to get rid of anything. Okay, and then now I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of liquid Castile soap. So the one I'm using is this. I bought the baby unscented one just because I didn't want any additional scents, because I am going to add some essential oils to this. But if you choose to use anything else, that's, that works just as great. All right, so 1/4 of a cup that I'm going to put into this. And then at this point, before I mix, because it's going to start to froth, I'm going to add my essential oils as well. So the one I have is a combination of a few oils. It's good for your sinus. So I'm just going to add just about 10 to 15 drops, whatever you would like. And then just give it a mix.
Give me a second. I'm still catching up. Perhaps if we
Sure,
can go
of course.
slower.
Of course, yeah. So I'm going to wait at this point. So just to go over everything that I've done so far, we started with the distilled water that we added the oil to, and then we mixed it up. And then we took our xanthan gum powder, half a teaspoon of it. And then we added half a cup of hot water to it. And then you just keep mixing until you get a thick paste. And then you add that to your water as well. And then you try to disperse it equally, just so when you add the soap, it's all, properly immersed. And then I've also added my essential oils to this mixture at this point. And the only thing left to do is to give it one final mix, and then you can use it as soap. Also, if you have any questions at any point, feel free to interrupt me or even send in your questions in the chat. I'll be either way. And this recipe is actually Krishana's. She makes her own soap and detergent. So if you have any questions about that in general, you can ask Krishana too. She's here as well. Is everybody caught up?
Yeah, Monica, I feel like your audio is not very loud. Not sure if you have to move closer to the mic or something.
Okay.
I mean, it's good, but just to make it even more better.
Maybe I'll just speak louder. Is this better?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just speak louder then. Okay. So is everybody caught up to the point where you've added your essential oil to the mixture?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. So the last thing to do is to mix. And I can already see that my mixture is starting to froth up. So can you see the bubbles? And that's it. That's how we make DIY.
So I have a
soap.
question.
So, yes.
Also, since I'm using hot water, since I don't have distilled water, can I put the water hot, or should I wait for it to cool down?
Yes. So if you're using hot water, I would wait for it to cool down, just because we're adding the xanthan gum. So just having that additional hot water might change the consistency of it. So if you're using hot water, just wait for it to cool down before you do the entire process. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you do this without xanthan gum?
You can. The xanthan gum is only for the texture of it. So, when you use soap, it's generally not just water. It has some kind of viscosity to it. So the xanthan gum just helps add that to the mixture. But you can definitely do this without the xanthan gum.
Are there any replacements?
I mean, nothing that I can think of that's vegan. But if you would like more information, I can, put together something and send it out. But yeah, maybe corn flour might work, but I haven't really used it. But that is something that is typically also used as a thickener. So you could try to use corn flour maybe.
Okay, thanks.
Aloe vera, yeah. I mean, that's a great suggestion, just because aloe vera is very hydrating for the skin as well. So that would be a good addition. But if you're using aloe vera, I would probably reduce the amount of water and then use aloe gel, like Roshana also mentioned. So at this time, I'm going to ask Roshana if she can speak a little bit about the detergent that she also makes at home that's also vegan. That way, you have more information about that if that is something all of you are looking to make. So Roshana?
Yep. So I have a recipe for all-purpose cleaner and detergent. So you can use this both as a spray cleaner and also as like washing detergent if you'd like. And I'll type out the recipe for everybody. But it's basically a liter of hot water, a quarter cup vinegar. You'll need the Castile soap, bicarbonate, 2 teaspoons of bicarbonate soda, and a little bit of lemon juice. If you are able to use fresh lemon juice, it's actually more effective. So if you're able to squeeze out the lemon juice, it's more effective than using like store-bought lemon juice. It will require heating and cooling because you will be using like boiling hot water to create the recipe, and then let it cool down so that it kind of settles and becomes more, the ingredients mixed together better. So I'll send a recipe in the chat, and then we can also probably send the recipe in our recap following the retreat. but that is also a cleaning recipe that you can use both as a spray cleaner and also as a detergent.
Thank you so much for that, Prashana. So now we're gonna move on to the baking part, banana bread. So baking is something I'm super passionate about. This is,
Monica,
kind of.
sorry to interrupt you, but can we
Yes.
give a couple of minutes for people to wind up after this soap making so they can move on to the baking part?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So if you want to take this time to put the soap into a soap canister, that is great. I just put my soap aside for now. I plan on putting it back into a hand soap dispenser that I already have. So just to, reuse what I already have instead of purchasing another one. So you could either get a new one or just reuse what a dispenser that you already have. So whichever works for you. And also to the question in the chat, I'm not really sure about using chia seeds as a substitute for xanthan gum. That is not something I've looked up, but I could find out more. But for everybody that's curious, this is what the xanthan gum looks like. And the good thing is, this is actually really great for baking if you're baking vegan and gluten-free. So if you purchase it to make soap, you can also use it for baking. And then I guess in this time, we could also gather all of the ingredients we would need for the baking. So bananas, flour, oil. So as you can see on the screen, sugar, vanilla extract, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. And any spices if you would like to add, and any nuts or any chocolate chips if you would like to add them.
I think
So,
Nikhil has a question. He has raised his hand.
Wait, sorry.
Sorry, it was regarding the xanthan gum.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I just forgot to put my hand down.
Oh, okay, great. So once you have all of your ingredients for the baking, either give me a thumbs up or respond in the chat. Just let me know you're ready to go. I know, me too. I guess at this time I'll probably talk about substitutes for bananas, because if you don't like bananas, this is a very easy recipe to substitute with zucchini. So you can use shredded zucchini, 1 cup of it. So just pat it gently with a paper towel before you use it, just to get rid of a little bit of moisture, but you do want to keep most of the moisture. And you can add zucchini, just take out the bananas. That is a great substitute. Zucchinis go really well with chocolate chips. So if you want to make zucchini bread, that is a really easy thing to make as well. The other substitute, if you like pumpkin, is to use pumpkin. So again, same concept, 1 cup of it. You can add it in the same way that we do. So I'm going to go through the process. So instead of bananas, you can just add what the other substitute I mentioned. Another one is applesauce. Applesauce is actually very commonly used in baking to substitute bananas as well. So if you use half a cup of applesauce for 1 banana, that would also work. But all the other ingredients can stay the same. So if there's anybody who doesn't like bananas, you can try out this recipe with other ingredients as well. Okay, so I'm gonna get started at this point. Absolutely, this would be great with chocolate chips, yeah. Okay, so I guess I don't hear any no's. So, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get our bananas. I'm using 3 bananas that are ripe. I don't really like using overripe bananas just because of how sweet it gets.
Monica, quick question. Do I have to do it in the oven just yet, or?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for reminding me. I completely forgot. If you could all take this time to preheat your ovens, that would also be great. So by the time we're done, your oven would be preheated. Please preheat it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And by the time we finish making the mixture, that should be ready. Thank you so much for reminding me. So I'm going to continue putting my bananas in.
Hey, I had to actually put the bananas in the oven to make it black because the skin didn't end up becoming black.
Okay. Did that work?
Yeah, so I put it for 10 minutes and that worked.
Okay, great. I'm glad that worked. So that is a really easy way to ripen bananas. If anybody, next time you want to make this and you feel like your bananas aren't ripe enough, a simple fix is to, if you have a day, I would recommend putting them in a brown bag, the paper bags that we use for lunch. So you keep them in and then the ethylene builds up and then it ripens the bananas faster. Or you can put it in the oven. And then the thing with that is I would recommend not leaving it in for longer than 15 minutes. So once the skin starts to get black and shiny, I would recommend taking it out. So the one time I did try it, I left it on for too long and then the water starts coming out of the bananas and then it still works. I mean, obviously, it tastes good, but then the texture is just a little off. So I would recommend keeping it in for 15 minutes. So whoever did the 10 minutes, I think that was perfect. So what I'm starting to do now is just mash up the bananas gently with a fork. You could use a potato masher as well if you have that. I'm just using a fork because it works for me. So you can tell if your bananas are ripe, if it's easy to just cut through them. Mine are a little tough, but that's okay. Don't, mash it up all the way because we are going to add the sugar. So just so it's like in smaller pieces. And then if you don't like, the strings that they come with, I don't know what they're called. You can, wait, so this is what I'm talking about. If you don't like these, sorry. Yeah, if you don't like these, feel free to take them out. I'm not really bothered by it. Also, this might be kind of late, but make sure you wash your hands before you bake. I did wash my hands before I walked in. So while we do this, just a little bit about how I got into baking. So I started baking when I was in 11th grade. I moved here when I was in 10th grade. I was in India before. And, it was really hard to find things that were eggless because most desserts here contain some form of egg, in an egg wash or, within the actual cakes or just any other desserts. So that was my first motivation. And then when I started baking, I loved baking. I think baking is a fantastic, stress relief activity if you want to use it that way. And then you also end up with a really, really delicious product. And I'm seeing banana parathas in the chat. I'm not sure if that's a thing, but I've never heard of that. So yeah. So, oh my God, yeah. Pretty, that's sweet of you. Okay, so I have my bananas mashed up a little. At this point, I'm going to add half a cup of sugar. You can go down to 1/3 cup if you don't like a lot of sugar. How ripe is too ripe for a banana? I don't think there is anything too ripe. Your bread will just end up tasting sweeter. So if you have really ripe bananas, I would recommend cutting down on the sugar. So if you feel like your bananas are too ripe, definitely cut down to 1/3 cup because otherwise it's going to be really sweet. Mine aren't that ripe, so I'm sticking to half a cup. I'm adding a mixture of brown sugar and cane sugar. I would recommend cane sugar instead of white sugar just because, the more processed the sugar is, they add animal derivatives to make it whiter. And we are trying to keep this vegan. So stick to cane sugar. And if you can find unrefined brown sugar, that's also great. And then just mix it up. So now you'll start to notice that it'll start to get a little more liquidy. So, you want to mash it up really well. If you like chunks of bananas in your bread, then you can keep it whole. I don't, so I'm just gonna mash it up to the best that I can. And then I'm just gonna use a spatula to, bring all the sugar in. So can you see that the consistency is already changing? It's becoming a lot more, liquidy. That's because, bananas are so full of moisture, which is why when we substitute bananas, we use things like zucchini that's also full of moisture. So the thing with banana bread is it's super, super easy to make vegan because bananas are already an egg substitute. So, you can imagine when you're making banana bread, all you have to do is just use that and just avoid the eggs. I do know that a lot of recipes out there do add eggs to this, but it's very, very easily avoidable just by getting your ratio right. So I think this is good. So, you can see it's a little bit liquidy, but I do have some chunks that I guess I'm okay with. Is everybody good?
Water?
No water. It's just the sugar, drawing out moisture, but don't add any water to this. Dates or jaggery can work definitely. You can make jaggery paste, I think, with just adding hot water to it, and you can definitely use jaggery. I have not used dates to make this recipe, and yes, honey works too, but we're trying to keep it vegan, so we're not using honey, but you can use maple syrup as a substitute for that. That's okay. Okay, so this is good enough. At this point, I'm going to add my oil, which I have pre-measured as well. So half a cup of it. Vegetable oil works just as good. Olive oil, just any kind of oil. Oh my God, I cannot get it in there. Okay, there you go. And then this is the only step at which I would recommend using a whisk if you have one. A fork works just as good, but just make sure that before you start to mix, the goal of this step is to make sure that you have an even mixture, because after we add the flour, we don't want to whisk it a lot because we want the bread to stay soft and not become like bread. Even though it's called banana bread, we still like it to be soft and cakey. So let me add my spices, or I'm gonna start with my vanilla first. So 1 teaspoon of it. A simple trick is most vanilla cups, if you measure them, they are typically 1 teaspoon. So depending on what bottle you use. So for instance, if you have this, the cup is 1 teaspoon. So you can just measure it out in the cup and put it in. The one I have is different. If you're able to get this vanilla, I would 100% recommend this. I did not think vanilla could make a difference, but once I've started using the cake, once I started using this for the cakes, I've definitely noticed a difference in the change. And if you're using zucchini, you can just shred it. So grate it, sorry. You can grate it, and then you don't need to increase the sweetness. That's a matter of personal preference, but I think it works with half a cup of sugar. And if you're adding the chocolate chips, then it works just as well. But if you like things sweeter, then feel free to add an additional 1/4 cup, I would say. So I'm just adding 1 teaspoon of this. So my lid's about half a teaspoon, so I'm adding 2 of that. And then I'm adding my spices. So your spices are a matter of personal preference. You can add whatever you would like. I'm adding a mixture of nutmeg, ground nutmeg, ground cinnamon, and ground cardamom. So it's 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 to 3 pinches of nutmeg, and about 2 to 3 pinches of cinnamon of cardamom as well. Feel free to not use them if you don't really like spices, but I think they help cut the sweetness of the ripe bananas and the sugar that we're adding.
Hey,
and
so
also I would.
Can you pause for a minute?
Yeah, of course. I'm just gonna wait for a second to give everybody a chance to catch up. So I've mashed up my bananas and I've added sugar. So half a cup or 1/3 cup, depending on the amount of sweetness you like and the amount of bananas that you used. And then I've added my spices at this point. So I use ground nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then ground cardamom.
Did you add vanilla too?
Yes, I did. I added 1 teaspoon of vanilla, yes. So KK just said that she's not made banana bread with a bunch of spices. I guess the Indian in me, wanting to add spices to everything, but yeah.
Monica, I believe there are a couple of questions in the chat box. One from Rasika. She's asking if we can use zucchini.
Yeah, so I
zucchini and grate them.
I believe I answered that question.
Yeah, I think she answered all of those. You've answered all of them so far.
Okay.
Thanks.
Just want to make sure. Okay, yeah.
Thanks, Monica.
Yeah. So I'm going to continue to whisk this while we wait for people. Nothing too much, just so you don't see the oil separated like we did at the beginning. So just continue to whisk, and it's super easy. You already see that I have an even mixture. Cardamom's great. I completely agree. I love the taste of cardamom. I love the smell of cardamom. I like to add it to practically everything just because it is wonderful. It has such a subtle taste depending on how you do it. The thing with cardamom is sometimes if you know, pre-ground cardamom, yes, absolutely. I use pre-ground cardamom too. So this is the one that I use. You can use the actual, you know, green pods and then grind them up yourself, but you don't have to. So I use pre-ground cinnamon as well. All of my spices are like this. You know, I have the one, I have nutmeg as well, which I don't have here right now. But yeah, you can definitely use that. So at this point, all of my ingredients I think are mixed well enough. So in this mixture so far, I have my bananas, I have my sugar, my oil, my vanilla, and my spices. Is everybody caught up to this point? That's true. Green cardamom ground freshly is amazing. Okay, so can we move on to the next step? Or would people like more time?
30 more seconds, please. Sorry.
Sure, of course. No, of course, take your time. We're not in a rush. So banana bread is super, super forgiving. I know I'm saying that so many times, it's almost, you know, starting to sound weird, but it's super, super forgiving as a recipe. So, you know, even if you mess up your ratios a little bit, it's still okay. But at the end, you know, I guess I'll go into a little bit about baking in general, you know, if that is something you're interested in, and just vegan substitutes for regular baking recipes that we see outside. But this recipe, super easy to make, and it, you know, super delicious at the end of it. So while we're waiting for people, I am going to talk about a quick trick that I recently learned and I thought was super cool. So, you know how they say you shouldn't use baking soda or baking powder after 30 days just because, you know, it's not as potent anymore. And there is some fact to it. So, you know, if your baking soda or your baking powder is really old and you're noticing that your bakes are coming out rather weird, that could be a reason. So swap it out. But an easy way to test if they are still good is you take a little bit of water. So I have some water here, and I'm just going to add the baking soda that I have. Just a little bit. And can you see, hold on, I'm going to mix it a little so you can see the bubbles. Okay, so do you see like the really small bubbles that it's making? I'm not sure if the camera is catching it. But that's a way to know if it's still active. So I know my baking soda is good. You can do the exact same thing with your baking powder. I'm going to test that out as well. So this one's a lot better. So you can even hear the fizz actually. So I know my baking powder is super, super fresh, but I might have to change, you know, my baking soda. But for this recipe, I'm going to continue. But that's a really easy way for you to check. Oh, it depends on the pH of your water. That's good to know. Okay, I assumed regular tap water works, but that is good to know. Okay. So is everybody caught up to this point? Can we continue on to the dry ingredients?
Yes, I am.
Great. Fantastic. So the next thing I'm going to add is 1.5 cups of flour. I just realized I don't have baking powder. Can we do without it? Yes, just add an additional teaspoon, half a teaspoon of baking soda. So instead of the 0.5, I would recommend using 1. And technically, no, they cannot be used interchangeably. Baking soda and baking powder are different things, and different things activate them. So if I'm not wrong, you need acid to activate baking powder, but baking soda doesn't need that. So they end up working differently. So if you see baking powder, it says double acting. It's because part of it does its job right now when you add it to the mixture, and the double acting part is when you put it in the oven and the heat reacts with it, and then it, you know, reacts again with the mixture, you know, for the, I guess that's the easiest way to describe it. So when you use them interchangeably, they don't work because baking soda is a lot more potent than baking powder is. So I would recommend using both. But if you don't have baking powder for now, just use double the amount of baking soda. I think that should do the trick. But for next time, it is good to have both. So I'm going to add 1.5 cups of my flour. You can use any flour you want. I'm just using regular atta, which is like, so double baking powder is baking, not just vegan recipes. I think for any kind of recipes, baking powder is good, but the egg does help sometimes. So, it's kind of more forgiving in that sense. But the difference is very obvious, when you stick to just baking soda versus completely baking powder. So it's important in both, I would say, but especially more so in vegan recipes. And then before I mix it, I'm also going to add my baking soda and my baking powder. So that is half a teaspoon of the baking soda, half a teaspoon of it going in, and then 1.5 teaspoons of the baking powder. So just level it out. That's 1, and that's 2. At this point, I would also recommend adding your salt. I think I forgot my salt. Okay. Wait, I do have the salt. Okay. So just a little bit, just a pinch of salt. So the salt, again, it helps. Can you repeat from the steps? Yes. So the baking soda, all I've done to this mixture is I've added 1.5 cups of flour. So that can be any kind of flour you want. All-purpose flour works just as well. Wheat flour, which is like, the atta that we use at home to make chapatis, works as well. And then, or you can use a mixture of both. If you're intolerant to gluten, I guess all-purpose flour is a little better, but you can use gluten-free flour. If you are using gluten-free flour, I would recommend using xanthan gum in your mixture. But I've added the flour and I've added 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 0.5, so half a teaspoon of baking soda. That's all I've done. Is that good?
Oh, I had a quick question.
Yes.
So if you're making something gluten-free, what flour would you recommend using?
So I think the one that's commercially available, like the gluten-free flour, works as well. I've used that to make brownies before, but otherwise you could use oat flour maybe. I think that's the best thing. Yeah, coconut flour works good, but I've seen a lot of people use oats. But the only time I've tried to make gluten-free things, I've made gluten-free brownies before, and I just use the commercially available gluten-free flour, if that makes sense. But I've seen a lot of people use oat flour as a substitute.
Got it.
So yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry to ask again. What?
No, of course.
What is the purpose of xanthan gum?
So it acts like a binding agent. So when you make things vegan and gluten-free, sometimes the ratio of the fat to the protein is kind of off. So you add the xanthan gum to kind of bind it all together, because in a typical recipe, you have eggs, fat, flour, and sugar. So those react together in a way that we already know them to, or even milk sometimes. But when you go into vegan things, the ratios might be off depending on what substitutes you use. So just adding xanthan gum helps additionally with the binding. And yeah, so I think that's the purpose. If you're using xanthan gum in this recipe, I don't really know how much you would add, but that is something I can send out later if people are interested. But the one thing I want to mention at this point is do not overmix your mixture. So we do what's called cut and fold. It's like a mixing technique. So you cut from the middle and you bring it to the top. So if you're making macarons, this is a technique you would use it, just because you absolutely do not want to overwork your dough for macarons here. It's fine, but still try to keep it as minimal as possible. So I'm just bringing it from the bottom to the top. So just cut and fold, and it comes together really easily. So even though this recipe is called bread, the recipe is the texture of it is usually like a cake. You want it to be soft and moist. People might not like the word, but we do like my banana bread. So all you have to do is just fold it, and you can see that it's all come together.
Sorry, one quick question. So,
of course,
did you actually end up adding the all-purpose flour and the baking soda into the banana bread?
Yes.
Or the banana mashed one that we
I
had?
did.
Okay.
Yeah. So the mashed bananas with the flour, sugar, the spices, and the vanilla, I added 1.5 cups of the flour and my baking soda, baking powder, and the salt to it. So just a pinch of salt. I'm gonna wait for a second to give people how important is it to sieve the flour. So I usually don't sieve the flour for this recipe, but if you want, for it to be more evenly incorporated, I would sieve it. But for this recipe, it's fine. I'm just cleaning out the bowl, getting everything in. So the purpose of sieving is just to get rid of any lumps you might have. So again, this is super forgiving in terms of how it mixes, just because we have so much moisture in here, so it's fine. But if you're making a cake or macarons again, you definitely want to sieve. And I'm seeing a lot of positive responses to oat flour, so that's good to know that people do like oat flour. So is everybody caught up to this point? Oh, spell flour. Okay, I did not know that. I haven't worked with that before, but that is good to know as well. Okay, so I'm not sure what the time is. So is everybody caught up to this point?
Mine actually doesn't look that thick as yours there.
So how does if you are comfortable turning on your camera, are you able to show me what it looks like? Did you use 3 bananas?
I think I used 4.
Okay, that's fine. It'll still turn out fine. So it's not like a lot liquidy. Like that's great, I think. So just add it to the baking pan and bake it. I think it should be fine. I've baked with 4 bananas before, and you get it. It's really nice because you get a really soft texture with it, and that's okay. So this is what mine looks like because I've used 3 bananas. But if people have used 4, I guess it'll look like a little more liquidy, which is perfectly fine. No need to worry.
Okay.
Yeah, but just know that your bread might look like it's not done, but trust that when you put a fork into it and it comes out clean, that it's done. But when you cut into it, it might look like it's not done, but it is. Don't continue baking it after that. Like I did that once where it looked like it wasn't done just because how much banana was in it. But if the fork comes out clean, then you're done. So I'll talk about that once everybody's caught up to this point. But the thing we would do next is take a bread pan. So mine already has my banana bread, so I'm not gonna, the one that I baked on this morning, just to show all of you what it would end up like. So
Monica, sorry to interrupt, a quick time check. We are at 12:17.
Okay, so, I'm almost done. Last step.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so this is the, it already has the bread that I baked this morning, but I would recommend greasing it with pan spray just to use a little less fat. Or if you would like to use oil, that's fine too. And just rub down the sides of it and then just put your mixture in. It's a step I'm not going to do right away. Everybody good until here? Okay, while we're giving people some time to put things in their pan, I just want to briefly mention some quick substitutes if you're looking to bake vegan or vegetarian. So a very, very easy egg substitute, first of all, is to use buttermilk. So we can use the yogurt that we already make and just, add some water and whisk it up and use that as a substitute. Or a really, really easy way to make buttermilk is you take milk and you just add some kind of acid to it. So it can be just a lemon, lime, or white vinegar, apple cider vinegar, whichever form, and you just leave it and then it'll start to curdle and then you can use that. It works beautifully. I bake all of my cakes using buttermilk instead of eggs, and I think it works fantastic. And in terms of if you're trying to bake vegan and you don't want to use regular milk, the best substitute is to use soy milk, just because of the protein and fat content in the soy milk. It works very, very similar to regular milk with dairy in it. So if you're trying to make buttermilk, I would recommend using soy milk and then adding some kind of acid to it. And then the next best substitute, if you cannot tolerate soy, is to use rice milk. That is, in terms of the fat that it has, it's great for baking because milk does provide some of that when we use it in recipes. And then butter is easily substituted with oil. I use oil in my cakes a lot more than I use butter, just because butter tends to harden and oil doesn't. So that kind of changes how the cakes freeze and thaw when you're decorating them. So using oil just makes sure that it stays a lot more moist if you're trying to keep it out for longer. And then I haven't really had problems with it. Like, I use regular vegetable oil, but sometimes people do like to use neutral oils that don't have any kind of taste. So you could use grapeseed oil, safflower oil. I think those are two that work just as well, but any kind of oil that you would like to use is great. And then in terms of frosting, so the one really quick way to make frosting, if you're trying to make whipped cream, is to use pastry pride. So that is something that's sold, I think, at Smart and Final or like stores like that, that have, it looks just like whipping cream, like, before it's whipped. When do we use chocolate chips? Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. So you can add it at this point. If you are adding any kind of mix-ins, like nuts or chocolate chips, you can add it to this point. You can even put it on top of your bread. I think that works really well, because then, you can ensure that you get some in every bite. So if you're using chocolate chips, feel free to put it on top of your bread after you put it into the bread pan, or you can add it at this point. So if you're using nuts, like sunflower seeds work really well. What else? You can use walnuts. I think, the Starbucks recipe has walnuts in it. Those work really well. And then chocolate chips work just as fine. So add them at this point and then put them in. I just don't add any, not a huge fan of nuts, but yeah. So so going back to what I was saying earlier, pastry pride is a really good substitute to make whipped cream. It's non-dairy, so it already, all you have to do is whip it. It comes with sugar in it, so don't add any additional sweeteners to it. It is a lot more stable than regular whipping cream. So if anybody is trying to make just regular cakes and you want to use whipping cream as a frosting, use pastry pride. Use the non-dairy version of it, and your whipping cream will be fine. Like, at room temperature, it stays just like regular frosting does. And
Monica, thing, could we try and wrap up in another 30-45 seconds?
Of course, sure. So I guess the last thing is just to put it in the pan and then put it in the oven. And yes, chocolate chips, they will melt in the oven. So the point is for them to kind of melt and be a little ooey gooey on the inside. But so if you like a little bit of crunch, add some nuts and the chocolate. That way you get the taste of the chocolate and then you get the texture from the walnuts. Those work really well. And then, you have the sweetness from the bananas. So so the last thing to do is add whatever you would like to add in this, put it in the oven. The end result will look something like this. I made a recipe this morning with 2 bananas only, so it kind of looks, not ideal, but it works. And then I like a crispy top, so all I do is I kind of, when I put it in the oven, just like work it around like this, so you have these grooves that help make it crispy. But this is what it'll look like at the end. It's super moist, as you can see. It crumbles really well, and that's banana bread. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me after, and I can talk about baking vegan, vegetarian, whatever. I love baking, so I would love to talk about baking after. I'm just going to end with one thing. We talk about love in this a lot. So all I'm going to say is all you need is love, to get the pun, and life is what you bake of it. So thank you all for joining me today. I had lots of fun baking with all of you.
Thank you, Monica. That was fantastic. So well done. So much, so many things I learned today. But Vineet, did you make sure you set a timer? I think it's for 40 minutes. I don't want to make sure like the banana bread doesn't burn. And as Swami says, so long as there is sugar on the tongue, you will feel the sweetness in taste. Similarly, so long as there is heart, as there is heart, as your heart has love, peace, and devotion, you will feel the bliss.
Wait, I'm so sorry if you don't mind me interrupting for 1 second. I completely forgot to mention that you put this in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes, depends on your oven. But do not open the oven until the bread is, 3/4 done, just because if the heat escapes, the bread won't rise the way we want it to. So just leave it in until it looks like, okay, I see a crust forming on top, but leave it in for 30 to 40 minutes. So, this would be a great time to put it in the oven. And then by the time the retreat's done, you're going to have a delicious snack.
We got you, Monica. Thank you for reiterating that. KK, of course, I've set the timer. And thank you, Monica, for 2 timely workshops. Now I can keep washing my hands and eating banana bread forever. Now, over to the lovely Region 7 YA reps, Madhumita Ramasubramanian and Kshitij Srivastava for YA regional updates.
Thank you, Vineet. And thank you, Monica. That was a lot of fun. But to quickly give you some updates, again, I'm Kshitij. I am the male YA rep for Region 7. And just in case you guys didn't know, Region 7 covers all of Northern California as well as parts of Nevada. We have actually crossed almost 300 young adults across the region. So that's pretty great. As we can see through this retreat that we have such a vibrant, dynamic group of individuals. What I have up here are Madhu is my co-rep, Anish serves as the devotion Y rep, Krishana as the service Y rep, and Sunil and Priya as the regional advisors. And then we have the individual esteemed center teams as well. Manisha and Ganpati from CSJ, Pritesh Rishma from Fremont, Sacramento has Preeti, Arun from San Francisco, and Tri Valley has Sumana and Sandeep. So this would be your team of young adult leaders. If you have any concerns, if you have any ideas, if you have thoughts, anything you'd like to share, feel free to use any of us as soundboards, and we'd be happy to talk through and explain things. If you want clarification on why was this done this way, we'd love to give you our side of the story. With that, I'll let Madhu take over.
Sure. Sairam, everyone. This truly has been such a wonderful day to be here and to spend time with all of you. Being part of the YA activities has not just helped me to connect with Swami, but there is a tangible growth in my personal and professional aspects of my life as well. Swami says, show me your availability and I will give you the ability. So if you want to get involved, there are plenty of forums at center, regional, national, and global levels. So you all are familiar with all of these activities that are happening. There are study circles, service projects, monthly devotional offerings in some centers, speaker sessions that pans across center, regional, national, global levels. And of course, you all must know what passion pods are. And if you all don't, please message us and we'll be happy to give you a dump of what the different pods are, and we'll be happy to update you with what's going on in each of these pods. And you all are here in our 12th annual YA retreat, and there are like a whole bunch of other national and global initiatives as well. There's a SciX webinar series where our fellow YAs from all across the nation share deliver on topics that are, that they have been working on in their own region. So that's a wonderful way to connect with YAs across the nation. And then there is the international YA subcommittees, which is very similar to our passion pods. There are like about 8 to 9 international YA subcommittees, and you all must have received that invite on WhatsApp and on emails. So if you have, and I think we have quite a number of people from our region who have signed up for these subcommittees. So that's awesome. And we also have a lot of our folks in social media. I see El, Krishana, who are in the national media team, and we have Divya, Pavi, who are in the regional social media team. And it's wonderful to have you all in our region, and it's super, super inspiring. Back to you, Kshitij.
And with that, how would you know that passion pods exist? How would you know of the committees? How would you know how the different activities are planning? We have all sorts of communication channels, as I'm sure all of you already know. But just to give you a quick gist of how this works, we do send out a consolidated short summary version of all activities going out every Thursday via emails. Um, we try and have a very active young adults WhatsApp group where all announcements, updates are shared, as well as any other discussion that comes up and about. I'm hoping to see a lot of you to be very active on that later today, where we talk through the outcomes or takeaways from the retreat. After that, we have the Facebook page where we regularly post updates, polls, videos, pictures, kind of similar to how Instagram works as well. But on Instagram, I'm I hope again that all of you are following us if you're there. We have a vibrant team which has got a lot of creative content there. They post the defined set of posts are for motivational Mondays, trivia Tuesdays, Wednesdays, throwback Thursdays, and family Fridays. Oh, I'm blabbering as I go through that list, but those posts are very engaging and a lot of fun to go through. So not being communicated to cannot be an excuse for us as leads and you as receivers of the communication.
Thanks for that, Kshitij. So before we close the whole segment and before I pass it on to the MCs, Swami, we really thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. We truly saw your love in action through all of your instruments who helped in putting together this retreat and in under 3 weeks. And I'm so grateful to be part of this amazing region. I have no words to describe such amazing young adults that we have. Sending you all lots of love and praying for all of your good health and happiness. Thank you so much, and Sairam. Back to you, MCs.
Well, as Madhu just said, we're coming close to the end. Swami has said to us, good company is important because it helps us cultivate good qualities. So there is no better way I would have liked to spend this beautiful Monday with all of you all, part of the Sai Region 7 YA community. The reflection workshop, the vinyasa flow, walking and listening to Swami's message, the punch followed by the kicks, making my own soap and baking made me feel connected with all of you all.
Wow, KK, we did quite a lot of things today. My favorite part of the retreat was definitely the gratitude video.
Well, for me, Vineet, it was definitely the reflection workshop. What about all of you all? What was your favorite part? Maybe type that in the chat and we can see what people really enjoyed.
Okay, we are slowly beginning to see responses.
People loved
every bit of it. That's fantastic. Thank you, folks. We would love to hear your feedback on today's virtual retreat to improve your experience for upcoming events. So please use the QR code or the link to take a short survey. We will also be sharing this feedback via our weekly regional YA newsletters, WhatsApp group, and our Facebook page. If you particularly enjoyed any of these sessions, feel free to give the leads a holler.
Well, we're so thrilled that you were able to join us in this format of our retreat and experience Swami through the unity of body, mind, and soul. It is important for us to understand Swami's message here. Unity is not just a combination, but the realization that the body, mind, and soul are all one and the same. And it is in that we learn to be closer to God.
Thank you for sharing that, KK. Next up, we will sing a few bhajans and experience Swami through his discourse. Goes without saying, keep the chat flowing with your positive thoughts and lessons from Swami's teachings. I am now going to eat the banana bread right after watching Swami's discourse and the closing prayers. And you are welcome to leave the Zoom call soon after that.
With that, the MCs will be signing off. Thank you for the opportunity and sending you all a lot of loves. Jai Saram. Now over to the Bhajans.
Saram.
सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम स्वरूपा प्रशांति निलया देवा सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम स्वरूपा प्रशांति निलया देवा रामा हो कृष्णा हो साई राम देवा रामा हो कृष्णा हो साई राम देवा शक्ति स्वरूपा बाबा हे दीन पालना बाबा हे प्रशांति निलया बाबा हे पूर्णवतारा बाबा सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम स्वरूपा प्रशांति निलया देवा रामा हो कृष्णा हो साई राम देवा शक्ति स्वरूपा बाबा हे दीन पालना बाबा हे प्रशांति निलया बाबा हे पूर्णवतारा बाबा साई राम देवा अल्लाह हो मौला हो साई राम देवा सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम स्वरूपा प्रशांति निलया देवा गरुड़ वाहना नारायणा गरुड़ वाहना नारायणा गरुड़ वाहना नारायणा गरुड़ वाहना नारायणा हे शेष शयना नारायणा हे शेष शयना नारायणा हे शेष शयना नारायणा शेष शयना नारायणा गरुड़ वाहना नारायणा गरुड़ वाहना नारायणा श्री लक्ष्मी रमणा नारायणा श्री लक्ष्मी रमणा Narayana. Hari Om Narayana. Garuda Vahana Narayana.
జగత్తులో ధనవంతులు కలరు.
In this world, there are rich people.
బలవంతులు కలరు.
There are strong ones.
గుణవంతులు కలరు.
There are men of character.
విద్యావంతులు కలరు.
There are educated people.
కానీ ఆత్మవంతులు కానరావటం లేదు.
But we don't find people with realization of Atman.
ఆత్మవంతులనగా ఏమిటి?
What do you mean by the one realized?
శరీరము కనిపిస్తుంది.
The body is apparent.
మనసు ఉన్నట్టుగా అనిపిస్తుంది.
The mind appears as if it exists.
కానీ ఆత్మ కానరాదు.
But Atma is not visible.
కానరాని ఆత్మను కనిపించినట్టు చేసుకొని ఆ ఆనందంలో తాను తన్మత్తుడై ఉన్మత్తుడై దివ్యత్వాన్ని అనుభవించినటువంటి వాడే ఆత్మవంతుడు.
He is really the realized one if he understands and then sees that Atma which is not apparent, which is hidden, that he intoxicates himself enjoying the beauty of Atma.
ఇట్టి ఆత్మవంతులు ప్రాచీన కాలమునందు అనేక మంది మహర్షులు ఈ దివ్యమైనటువంటి భావాన్ని, దివ్యమైనటువంటి యొక్క రసమును, దివ్యమైనటువంటి శక్తిని అనుభవించి ఆనందించి జగత్తులకు అందిస్తూ వచ్చారు.
The ancient saints realized this Atman, they enjoyed and then propagated the principle of Atman to everyone in this world.
ప్రాకృతమైనటువంటి మానవునకు ఈ పరతత్వాన్ని బోధించే నిమిత్తమై అనేక ఉపనిషత్తులందు ఉన్నటువంటి యొక్క భావములను క్రోడీకరించుకొని వీటిని త్రికోణము అనేటువంటి స్వరూపకంగా ధరింపజేసి జగత్తునకు చాటుతూ వచ్చారు.
They started propagating this doctrine of Atma, taking from Upanishads and explained in a triangular fashion.
ఒకటి శరీరం,
one is the body,
రెండవది మనస్సు,
the second is mind,
మూడవది ఆత్మ,
the third is Atma.
శరీరము స్థూలము,
the body is gross,
ఆత్మ సూక్ష్మము,
the mind is subtle.
ఈ స్థూలము సూక్ష్మము అయినటువంటి శరీరమునకు ఆత్మకు సమన్వయమును కావించి రెండింటినీ కూర్చి చేర్చి ఆనందింపజేసినటువంటిది మనస్సు.
The gross body and the subtle Atma have been united and jointed and coordinated by the mind that stands in between.
ఈ మూడింటి యొక్క సమన్వయం యొక్క ప్రతిపాదనే తత్వము అని నిరూపించారు.
The integration and the coordination of the three is nature or tattva.
ఈ తత్వము అనేటువంటి యొక్క సత్యాన్ని మానవుడు సరిగా అర్థం చేసుకోవటం లేదు.
Man is not understanding properly the meaning of tattva or the nature.
తత్ త్వం, తత్ అనగా అది,
tat means that,
త్వం అనగా ఇది,
tvam meant this.
అది అనగా మనం గుర్తించవలసినది ఏమిటి?
That means what? What is it to be real?
మనకు దూరముగా ఉన్నటువంటి దానిని దట్ అంటాము.
That which is away from you is called that.
దగ్గరగా ఉండినటువంటి దానిని దిస్ అంటాము.
That which is quite near to you is called this.
దేనికి దూరముగా ఉన్నది, దేనికి దగ్గరగా ఉన్నది?
To what is it? It is distant. To what it is nearby.
మన ఇంద్రియములకు దూరముగా ఉన్నటువంటి దానిని దట్ అన్నాడు.
That which is far off from senses is that.
మన ఇంద్రియములకు సమీపంగా ఉన్నటువంటి దానిని దిస్ అన్నారు.
That which is close to senses is this.
కనుక ఇంద్రియములకు సమీపంగా ఉన్నటువంటిది జీవితము అనగా దేహమే.
The body is quite close to the senses. That is deha or the body.
మన ఇంద్రియములకు దూరముగా ఉన్నటువంటి యొక్క తత్ అనేటువంటిది ఆత్మ.
That which is far away from the body or senses is
దూరముగా ఉన్నటువంటి యొక్క ఆత్మను,
that Atma which is far off,
దగ్గరగా ఉన్నటువంటి దేహముతో,
and the body which is quite close,
అసి కలపటమే మనసు యొక్క స్వభావము.
Mixing both is the nature of the mind.
దీనినే తత్ త్వం అసి అని పిలుస్తూ వచ్చారు.
This is called that thou art, that tvamasi.
కనుక మానవత్వములో ఈ శరీరము, మనసు, ఆత్మల యొక్క మూడింటి యొక్క సమ్మిళిత స్వరూపాన్ని మనము గుర్తించడానికి ప్రయత్నించాలి.
Therefore in man we should make an attempt to understand the very form and the nature of body, mind and
తత్వమసి అనగా ప్రత్యేకమైనటువంటి యొక్క అర్థం ఏమీ లేదు.
Tatvamasi has no separate meaning.
అది ఇది చేరినటువంటిదే తత్వమసి.
Tatvamasi is a mixture of that and this.
అనగా అతీతమైనటువంటి యొక్క ఆత్మతో,
That Atma which is transcendent,
అనుభవ రూపమైనటువంటి దేహముతో,
the body that experiences,
ఏకత్వాన్ని అనుభవించి
experiencing unity,
దివ్యత్వాన్ని పొందటమే.
one should attain divinity.
May all the beings in all the worlds have happiness and peace. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्।